Hello and welcome to EDUC 407 week number 3. Sorry it's taken a little bit so long to post the assignment for this week. Ever since I left you that last Thursday, it's been pretty interesting. I'll kind of explain during class. So that's why I haven't had a chance to grade anything. There's been a lot of stuff happening in my personal life. Not bad things, but just things that happened literally right after we had gotten done. So I am going to get down to grading. I should be able to get week 1 stuff graded today. I probably will not start week 2 until probably either tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday. But I will be getting week 2 stuff done. So that way that'll lead us into what we're going to do for week 3. So let's look at that real quick. So looking at week 3's assignments, we have a total of 5 assignments. The first 3 are going to be related to what is called a Padlet link. This is another feature of technology that you can use with students where you can put brainstorming ideas together all in one specific link. But you're going to be looking at a few things. You're going to be looking at some ISTE videos. You'll be looking at a website, Common Sense Media. A lot of it's for digital citizenship. And then you'll also be looking at Pear Deck. What you're going to do is to submit these for these assignments, you're going to be placing something on the Padlet link, and I'll show you what that looks like. Then you're also going to have a group work assignment this week on digital citizenship policy, which we'll go over. And you'll also talk about a copyright commercial that you'll need to make. We're talking like 30 to 60 seconds at most, no more than that. Think about a commercial in real life. Those are usually very short. So let's go into Blackboard and see what we have to do. So we're in week 3. You'll see here, hey, I don't have the video there because I'm making it right now. But what you're going to do is you're going to submit your work for assignments 11 through 13 right here, okay, through Padlet. You can submit something on Blackboard, but you don't have to. The only thing I need is on Padlet, and then I go through and give you guys the points. The first assignment is the ISTE videos. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch these. I think there's 4 videos. Digital footprint for digital citizen, online behavior, intellectual property, and digital privacy. All of these are so important when dealing with students these days. So it's really important that you understand what kind of standards we have for that. You're going to watch all 4 of those videos. And then what you're going to do is come into what is called a Padlet. This is a Padlet right here. The link is already on Blackboard for it. So you'll watch the videos, and in one paragraph, you're going to summarize what you learned from the videos. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll either add a comment or press the plus button, and you'll add your piece. It should show your name. If it does not show your name, make sure you let me know who it is, so that way I can give you credit for it. But just in one paragraph, do that, and you'll start seeing people's responses go down, down, down. So you're more than welcome to respond to anybody if something really is like, hey, this touched you, but that's up to you. But you just need to provide a response to that question. Your second assignment deals with Common Sense Media. And I want you to think, how could you use these resources with your students? So when you're doing that, coming back here into the content, again, this is number 12, you're going to click on this link. And you're going to look at some of the resources from the Common Sense Media Digital Citizenship site. Okay, how could you use these resources with students, especially when we talk about digital citizenship? Having a digital footprint, how you do things digitally online, whether it's social media, whether it's just responding to people. How are those things very important, and how could you use those resources to help reinforce that to students? Your third assignment is to go to Pear Deck. Again, this is a link that if you click on it, it'll take you straight there. Click on Why Pear Deck on the left-hand side. There's usually a bar right there. And click through some of the information regarding this product. This is a particular program that I really love to use with my students because I can get feedback right away. In fact, I don't have to wait for it. And I think you'll find that if you start looking at it, it's something that's really powerful, especially when we talk in terms of formative assessment and seeing where our students are at. So click on some of the information there, and I want you to go back to Padlet and answer this question. How is the interactivity of these lessons helpful within your classroom? So it's just something to think about when you do get a classroom, if you're not already working at a school. when you're trying to look for interactive things where you can get information from the students and the students can provide information, why is that so helpful and how could you possibly use it? But again, what you will do is you will come right here to Padlet and you'll put all of your responses here. Again, you can respond to other people if you want, but I only require one response for each thing. As long as you do that, you're going to be all set. You don't have to submit anything in Blackboard for that, but you will have to make sure you do that before the end of the week. Coming back here, our fourth assignment, number 14, is our group project. And I say group project, it's not a heavy-duty project, but it is something that we need to think about. All schools, even including colleges and universities, have what is called a digital citizenship policy. This basically says, hey, these are the rules that you need to follow as a member of this group, in this case, this university. The same thing for high school students and elementary schools and junior high students. But that also goes for staff, faculty, parents, stakeholders. All of those things are really important. So what I want you to do is create a digital citizenship policy that covers what would happen for students. What do they need to follow? What rules are important that they need to follow? And what will they do to make sure they do that? And what happens if they don't do it? Same thing for teachers or faculty, and same thing with parents. Believe it or not, we have a lot of things that happen, whether it's between teachers or parents. Sometimes it's not even the students, and we have to make sure that they know that they are just as responsible as what we would expect for the students. So what you will do is you will, after looking especially at the Common Sense Media digital citizenship resources, think about a policy you could make for a fictional school. It could be a elementary, junior high, or high school. You should have like students will do this or will act a certain way. Same thing for teachers or staff and parents. And then come up with a discipline program. What happens if someone violates the rules? What would you do? And it should be progressive. It shouldn't be like off with their head the first time they make a mistake, but it should be something. Certain privileges get taken away after a certain period of time, and then it progressively gets harsher as it goes on. Something similar to what we have in schools as it is. And we want to know what happens if a student, teacher, or parent violates that item. What you're going to do in your group is you should probably create a Google Doc that you guys can all work on, and someone will submit it for your group. As long as everybody's name's on it, and I know who's in each group, you'll be all set up. That way, you just turn it in and you're all set. I figure with 4 people per group, and I'll show you what the groups are in just a second, because there's that many, you should be able to write each little section and you should be able to put it together pretty quickly. Again, I am not worried about perfection. I'm not worried about, what's the loopholes or anything like that in the policy. Don't worry about that, but I want you to start thinking about that, because when you do have students in your classroom and you're doing stuff online, especially with technology, you want to make sure they know, hey, if you break the rules, this is what's going to end up happening. So there's no worry about why things happen, but that you can be prepared for it. So let me show you what groups you have. So the groups, and I did this randomly. I used a random name generator to tell me which groups are which. So group 1, we have these 4 students. So what I have done inside Slack already, you might have seen a notification that you are part of a specific channel. So group 1, you 4 are part of this channel for your group assignment. This is where you can post ideas. You can even post things that you want to put in there. And then just as long as somebody or all of you guys submit a final product to me by the end of the week, that's for your group 1. Same thing for group 2. You guys have also been added into Slack as a private channel that only you guys and myself can see, just in case of anything. This is, again, where you will post ideas, thoughts, how you want to do things. I've had it where students will write their section in there, and then they'll have one person that puts it together in one final document to make things easier for formatting. So you guys will need to get together on Slack at some point this week. You may want to talk to each other on there and start messaging each other and start putting things together and how you want to do it. Again, this is not designed to take a long time, But because we're dealing with group work, you're going to have to make sure you're paying attention to what your other group members are doing, so that way you guys can all get it done before the end of the week. Okay. This list will be on the video, as well as in case you ever need it, you're not sure which group, always go to Slack. You'll know who's in your group at that point. Coming back to the content, after you've kind of gone through all of those, and again, it doesn't have to go in any particular order, you will need to watch this lecture on copyright and fair use. These days, when it comes to using people's work in a classroom, there are important things that you need to know. Okay, because you can't just throw a video on in the classroom and it's okay to watch. You might have to look at what permissions you have to get, what things you have to do. If you're getting stuff off the internet, do you have to cite a specific source? Make sure you attribute it to the author or the creator of the work. There's a lot of things that go into it, because the last thing you want is all of a sudden someone comes with a lawyer and says, hey, you used my stuff the wrong way. So you have to be very careful with that in education. Even though we're using it for educational purposes, it doesn't mean that you can just use anything. So watch this so you can have an idea what copyright issues happen within education. And your last assignment this week is to create what is called a copyright commercial. So this commercial is only going to be no more than 60 seconds. We're talking about, if you were doing a commercial, think about all the commercials we see on TV these days. Could you make a quick 30 to 60 second commercial on one specific aspect of copyright law? I'm not asking you to do everything, but just one thing. It has to be a laser focus when it comes to that. Once you pick that one part, create a concept for it. You can do it on Google Slides. You could do it on PowerPoint. You might even choose to do an animated video type thing. That's kind of up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with technology. Once you do that, create the video, put it on YouTube, just like you did your video lesson, and then submit that link to the video so that I can view it and view your copyright commercial. Okay. And this is one area where I might give you some extra credit to try something even more on top of everything. You'll see here, there's resources on copyright, some information that if you need any help, but online video creation tools are a way to make things kind of jazzed up when it comes to either lessons or, in this case, this commercial. Look at these resources and you may want to choose one of them to make the commercial with. If you choose one of these and you submit it, I will potentially give some extra credit, depending on how well you do, that you used one of these tools in such a way that you had to learn it yourself. Okay, a lot of these are free. Some do require some payment, but I don't want you to have to pay for anything. Try to use the free version as much as possible. A lot of times they give you a trial to do it. But again, if you do the video editing tool this way, I'm willing to give some extra credit. You just have to choose what you want to do. Please make sure you're getting all of your assignments done. Don't worry if assignments come in a little late. I'm not stressed out about that. I know things happen. And again, I'll explain more during our meeting on Thursday that things do happen. Just a reminder, Thursday is an actual class meeting. Excuse me. So I do expect to see you either online or in person. If you have any questions or issues, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. But I look forward to seeing all of you guys soon, whether it's virtually or in person.